Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It is 11:38 in the evening, Thursday, the 10th of October, 2024. We were in Geneseo, Roseman, California. All right, guys. Yeah, I haven't been doing much, freaking out as much. Actually, coming across other articles that should capture my attention a great deal. It scares the hell out of me. It's not the politics we're dealing with these days. It's internal politics, actually. It's also a business situation, supply and demand. More and more people are having problems in incorporated cities and towns trying to keep a place, and corporations want to do their own renovating and screwing up people's lives left and right, trying to get new renters in there to pay more money than low income does. LA County and LA City are facing that. Some people could be in a county, but the problem is there are certain areas that even county supervisors won't even touch. LA County is doing the same, is in that bracket right now. They may have certain sections of unincorporated areas. Could be well within the city borders or surrounding it. And no, they residents still get kicked out because of state laws trying to protect people for rent control one way, trying to keep people inside, and yet unfortunately corporations find a way to get around the loopholes somewhere. And people get 60-day notices getting kicked out at the end of this year, or less than that. There are going to be some residents sharing their holiday season on the streets. There may not be a place for them to live because certain laws are being observed and circumnavigated by corporations to kick people out. Even when the media tries to report this, it's they can't get an answer from the corporation. They're not going to say any damn thing. They're not willing to put themselves on the line. They're just willing to kick people out because they're looking at them and saying, well, they're going to be homeless anyway. They're low income. Who cares? I want the higher income because there's more money bracket in our pockets. And that sucks. It sucks. I can't talk about it, can't fight about it because it'll hurt others or hurt yourself in the process. That's why I'm always afraid of dancing around this damn topic because I'm always afraid of putting myself in that kind of situation. And I understand the resident's point of view. I just don't understand the dollar point of view, except business economics. Supply and demand. There's a hell of a lot of demand for a short supply. So how much are they willing going to be paying for it? But if they can't pay for it as much, well, let's get them one way or another. Get them out of the place one way or another, and then after that, find some legal technicality to keep them out, and they're gone. They're homeless. And no more rights. No more rights for a human being outside. Observations. I was grateful when I got this place. My brother and I originally got it. He was a primary signature on it. Tag along waiting for the Social Security to kick in. Took him long enough. But after a few years, just before his passage, my brother's passage, the Social Security kicks in. I started paying off the bills. I started paying the rent. Started to get a feel for the place. Then afterwards, I had my own nightmare. Besides trying to get evicted out of this place because he's gone, but I'm here. Doesn't matter if I'm here or not. Doesn't matter if I'm paying the rent. I had receipts at the time to show him. The paperwork, I don't even know where it is anymore. But I managed to communicate to the corporate Tell them my situation. Tell them what happened. And while we're going through the treaties while we're going through the illegal paperwork, I get the bug bumps. I get the bed bugs in this place. So I had to endure the bed bugs. Wait for exterminators, do their evaluations, and then they're telling me how I must treat this whole place, and I did it. I followed them. Cooked the place. I didn't realize that there was going to be snafus in the damn thing, but cooked the place. Got rid of them. They're dead. They're gone. History. No more colonies. Got the lease signed, and this place was home. Well, still forward ahead anyway. Now I got the cockroaches to deal with. But I discovered these guys are moving from place to place. Now it's mine. But I'm not the only place in this whole complex dealing with it. But I'm grateful for just having a roof over the head, because I'm still here and I still keep track of what I can, of what's out there. Supply and demand when it comes down for business. We will pay a high dollar just to get into a place and keep it, even if it's going to be roach infested. That wasn't bad enough. You know what today's date was before it passes off into history? World Mental Health Day, they called it. Post stuff all the time since my brother's passage. Do videos about it all the time. But do you think people would understand what the hell mental health is all about unless they actually go through this stuff themselves? This is not the easiest thing to talk about. You're the one going through a lot of mental anguish, a lot of mental flip-flops in the head that you can't even describe to anybody else. How are you supposed to explain that to everybody, for that matter? Embarrassing as hell. Because now in our social stigma, mental health means that you're crazy, you're nuts, you're dysfunctional, you're not part of society, you're not part of this. There's something wrong with you. There's something absolutely morally, legally, and everything else wrong with you. What the hell's wrong with you? How come you're not like the rest of us here? Yeah, imagine having that social stigma for all your life. You're strange. You're weird. You're isolated. My God, what's with you? Sometimes the mental games are worse than the physical, but then in the reality world, both are just as screwed up and I can't say challenging. It's a pain in the ass. That's the only thing I can tell them. It's a pain in the ass. Shrinks and therapists are trying to theoretically help us by drugging us out of our minds or talking to us to death or allowing us to talk ourselves to death. I can make a joke about the damn thing, but sometimes it's not. I have never... Let me scratch that. Phrase him. I've had issues with the medical establishment all my life, trying to keep me alive physically. But when it came down for the psychological, nobody ever picked up on the damn thing, and nobody ever gave a shit to pick up on the damn thing until I managed to walk myself into a damn therapist's office and said, I need help. One time it's for an appointment for mental burnout decades ago before laws were changed in the state of California to allow it. Even more harshness to it. And that was something I couldn't deal with. I couldn't deal with it at all. Some people were trying to take advantage of it according to the stories I kept hearing back in the 80s concerning about mental health. Job stress, they called it. Well, mentally, I was burned out on a job. I got accused of a lot of things, but I struggled at it because we needed the money. 20-something-year-old supposed to do what he's got to do? Did I even realize that a 20-year-old can actually get job stress at a retail store? But I did. Tums and Tylenol and vitamin C tabs. Tabs because I like the orange taste so much. The Tums for the acid indigestion because I was dealing with customers and management. And then the headaches I'd be able to get from everybody. I'd have to have my own supply, my own pocket all the time. It would take a couple of hours for the Tylenol to start lowering down the blood pressure a little bit. But do you think that the doctors back then, would they be able to pick up on this shit? Nope. Nope. No. No, I had to file a claim against the company. And then, a year off, go back to work. And during that year, I had to be retrained again. Slowly, but I got retrained back into a working status again. Plus seeing a shrink a few times. Therapist to talk about things, what's going on with the job. You're supposed to talk about anything and everything to a therapist. I discovered one thing, though. You keep some stuff behind. Everything else is superfluous. But some things come up and bite you in the ass. Yeah. And that was enough. But I worked my ass off. And a lot of my win files will talk about the shit I went through all my life. But regarding the deterioration of my health mentally, nobody picked up on the damn thing. And if they did, they weren't telling my family that John needs help. I didn't know if I needed help. Not until there was a time when I actually really needed help at that point over there, was when it was on a path that was going to be way too late for me. And yes, I've got it recorded out there. I came close to crossing lines left and right. Some lines I haven't talked to the therapist yet because I'm not comfortable in bringing up certain items, but other items I did. And that would still shine a spotlight on me, thinking that this is a guy that you have to watch out because he might be doing some stupids out there. A long time ago with that kind of mentality? Yeah, I would have. I'm in dire need of a shave. An haircut. But yeah, no, did anybody suspect I was that off, that I was a guy to be avoided? Like the plague? Maybe some people thought differently. Maybe they felt sorry for me, took pity on me. Maybe. Maybe I should have been taking pity on myself. Well, the family didn't think I was nuts. Not until I got proven to myself that I was nuts. Well, probably still am. Still am. I mean, if I have to start coming up with those thoughts and ideas, that thinking, I need more and more mental health, more therapy, then I know I'm not there what should be or considered to be healthy. But I know how broken I felt. I started, lost Ma, lost a friend of mine, lost a dog, and then I lose my brother. And just how much together was I supposed to be? I have everything else pounded on my head over the past 10 years or more, and I'm supposed to be together. I hate to say it, but I'm not together. Losing a mother, evictions, losing a pet, family friend who was a surrogate mother. Yeah, it does play havoc on a person. I lost a lot of people prior to before Ma, and I tried to hold it in. But somehow, as I got older in my life, I'm suddenly realizing that there's a lot of things about me that should have been taken care of, should have been isolated a long time ago, maybe. And I've come close to seeing my darker nature take more and more control in those days. Still scares me to this day. It should. I should be more aware of the damn thing. I'm seeing way too much of my lifetime how insanity works, of how people would commit to killing themselves when they can't stand anything else. Can't stand themselves, can't stand anything in life, nothing else is happening, so might as well just, that's it. And me wanting to have that, that's even terrifying. Not wanting to live. Not remembering what it was like when I actually had died. I mean, hell, if a soul rises out from a damn body, you know it's dead. How do you know? Well, let's see. Heart monitors, breathing, brain activity. Yeah, that would tell him. But then the doctors would just kept working on me to keep me going. I mean, a 4-year-old dies 3 times, lifts out of the body, tries to go to heaven, and comes back down to earth all the time. How's a kid supposed to accept that and deal with that throughout the rest of his life? No therapy during the days. Get into a few near miss or accidents almost damn near kill me. I'm supposed to walk out of it alive because I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to. I try to deal with everyone else's loss that I lose left and right. Doesn't matter if it was an animal or doesn't matter if it was human. Physical losses you probably get depressed about. I mean, I have. I lost things and then had to deal with the loss. And it still hurts like hell because some things, when I got rid of, they disappeared out of my life. Yeah, I remembered them. But it took a long while for some of that memories to get buried, come back to haunt me a little bit later on down in life. And I'll feel sad and I'll feel depressed about the damn thing. And I still have to look at the reality right now as it is and move on. And that's the hard thing right there, is moving on. Being stuck in the memories and being stuck in that kind of agony. How is a guy supposed to handle that in the first place? Oh, society tells me to do it one way, and this is the behavior pattern, and this is it, and this, da, 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 da. Yeah, well, I tried to da, 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 and it doesn't work for me sometimes. So I have to find my own way through this shit. Which means I still talk to a therapist. And I still talk to a priest. I think I'm going to drive him insane. I think my stories will be driving him insane mostly. It's not the stories. It's how much of information I'm shoving at the guy. I'm going to be driving him nuts. To a point of saying, leave me alone. I'm doing an exorcism on you. Oh, please. No, I'm not trying to do that kind of crap. But yeah, I think I talked to the guy too much. He seems to be the only one that looks at the videos and understands what kind of a nut job I am. And then every once in a while, I'll see a posting from some other people, and I'm thinking, oh, great, what did I open up now? It's not as much, it's the contents that come out. And I wonder, was it a good idea for me to do this? Maybe. This is an old shirt that I had several years ago. A little longer than 10 years, I think. Well, just about that. I outgrew it, but I still needed a clean shirt. I still need to get laundry going. I still need to do the basic things necessary to take care of my body. I mean, if I still have some clean clothes left, if I'm still able to salvage something, yeah, I can do it. Mental health is dealing with behaviors and patterns as I discovered in my own youth. I mean, I've taken a college course in psychology. And I know these psychologists and psychiatrists have many years of training and skill sets. And me, I only know me. And I'm discovering more and more crap here. So I'm discovering more and more that my own mental health is still out there, or some people consider me normal. I don't know what normal is anymore because I see patterns from everybody else and anybody else these days. And what's normal? What's normally accepted? I don't hear it. I see everybody as an individual capable of killing somebody when you least expect it, or finding some hurt, or doing something. We're showing the dregs of it. We're showing the incapacity. We're also showing the lack of empathy and sympathy and indifference. Try to talk to people about this one. It goes in one ear out the other. But for other people, actually pick up on this damn thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. May call it word salad today. I'm just trying to get some shit off my damn chest and off my head. My friends hadn't tried to figure me out, and they couldn't figure old Johnny out. Hell, my mother couldn't even figure me out, but she never took me into shrinks. That's the problem. If she actually took me to a damn shrink, maybe I would have had some help and tried to get along with normal society. But unfortunately, I grew up in that society. I think my dog's up. Certain noises I pay attention to. Well, that being said, right now as it is, I care. I care what it is to be in part of a family, part of a team, part of a group, to be a participant. I care about structure, safety, support, and especially when I'm going eating all three at the same damn time and feeling like I send the signals out one way or another, but nobody ever responds back. And I talked to my therapist about this one, the breadcrumbs. I talked about the breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs that tell people what's going on. I isolate so much that people start to worry, or maybe they just don't worry, just ignore. That's the thing concerning about this kind of thing that we deal with. People ignore you. You're quiet. Why should we bother you? You're not bothering us, so why are we doing this? Because the bitch of it is, you don't, something happens. It's not the loud ones you have to worry about, it's the quiet, silent ones, so the tales go. Because you don't know what's going on in here, and quite frankly, it'd be scary if you did. If people wanted to get to know me, what would they want to ask me about this one? Why are you so damn weird? Then I should be asking the same damn thing. Why are you? Long time ago, conformity, compliance, I had an issue with. But I really didn't dress a rebel part. No, I tried to be part of it. But then show behavior that I wasn't part of it. Oh, you could throw the clothing on me to try to dress me up as being normal, but I wasn't normal, damn it. I wasn't a punk. I wasn't a gothic. I was just in my head all the damn time. Quiet. Stuck my head in books. And I hung out with other people. Actually, they hung out around me because I'm one of them, apparently. That we did our own thing. Tried not to disturb anybody else, let alone our families. Well, we isolated. Uh, we isolated. Okay, so what did you do when you were isolated? Grew up in science fiction and fantasy. You have those things running through the head on a constant basis at this point. Sometimes you think you want to take on a characteristic or a persona, get a different identity. I heard some of these guys try to do the different identities on people left and right. On this, on that. There's a character name. There's a code name. There's a weird name here. Some of the friends called me Admiral. Yeah. Vice Admiral. A kid with no military experience, not even a ROTC. ROTC of conformity, of compliance, of orders, rules, regulations. Me being ROTC, you kidding me? And me trying to kill myself in the exercises? Gonna have people yelling and screaming in my head, give them more, just to satisfy their sadism? Fuck that shit. But then again, I liked all these damn commanders I see on the screens. Television and movie screens. Why not be one of them? I wanted to emulate something of them. Give me some rank pins. Give me some, what they call scrambled egg gold leaf things to put on a hat and show that I'm go to D&D games and they look at me like, fine, I won't join your screwed up clique. There was one time when I actually did attend a group meeting in the high school science fiction fantasy club we had over there. And they were going to be gathering at the Pepper Tree Theater. It was a independent theater out in Devonshire and Reseda, Northridge, California. God rest his soul. God bless his soul. Cool movies I watched over there with my brother and me, or just me. Place to hang out. Watered down sodas and salty popcorn. And you'd see the movies. And I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark over there. We were supposed to be going over there to see the run of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it didn't happen. They did their own thing. I stayed there, watched a movie. They never came, and I just watched a movie, enjoyed it, and had to call for right for home. I felt like even among nut jobs, sci-fi nut jobs, fantasy creeps like these guys, I was off, or they were more off than I was, and I couldn't relate. I tried. I guess maybe there was an aura around me that nobody could understand, nobody could figure out. Still is to this day. To this day. That kind of sucks. I mean, yeah, I like the science fiction stuff that came out. Not much into horror crap. I mean, I got also into the martial arts films, television, and movies, watching that too. Independent theaters were cheap enough anyway back then. I always wanted to buy a home. I was living in Granada Hills, going to high school. And I hate it when they tore it down. The whole area is converted into something else. And a while ago, I tried to get into watching maps and stuff like that just to see how areas were like. And I could tell you one thing about regarding mental health. It kicks hard sometimes, especially when I was trying to figure out memories. Use a program called Google Earth Pro and go back in time as far back as '85 and watch and look at the grainy black and white pictures. And I would see different areas that I used to live in and exist in, and that would cause a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of depression. There's the reason why I was doing my videos this past month or two on it. Friends of mine scattered about throughout time and space, so to speak. They got their own lives living, their own lives dealing. We had paths crossed, but then wandered off again. I still have a bit of fondness for a bit of science fiction, but the thing is, every time I keep watching the shows with a different light and a different viewpoint I have right now, it hurts more and more. It's not maybe because of the past of what it represented. Groups, support, structure, belongingness, togetherness, part of a family, part of a group. You're connected. And that's the thing that still gets to me these days. see it and watch the shows that I've enjoyed throughout my lifetime. I'm seeing more and more of that, and I'm feeling the emptiness and the pain and the grieving of it. Especially when I had other people who had got connected in different worlds that I had belonged in. This shirt was one of them. Talks about an alkathon. Ah! Okay. Maybe you can see it a little better. Maybe just a bit. Big round circle with a triangle in the middle of it. Sit back down again. Alcoholics Anonymous recovery. Even in that kind of format, I feel like I still don't belong in that either. No, it's whatever kind of format I'm trying to put myself into. I don't fit in anymore. I'm worse than a square peg in a round hole. I've gotten rid of it. Seems like I've gotten rid of the board and I'm just me. It doesn't fit in anything. And yeah, I understand that feeling. Yeah, and the stereotype, the mental thing going on, and maybe physical awkwardness. Okay, I get that. I get that. Grew up around it. Lack of confidence or spaced out, and people can't deal with a spaced out dude. Yeah, I understand that. I grew up in that kind of environment. Ma and Dave still had a hard time to this day, before they passed, having a hard time trying to deal with a schmuck like me in the first place. Even I still have a hard time trying to deal with a schmuck like me. But the thing of it is, I am where I am right now. And it seems like I'm trying to fit into someone else's territory, and I'm saying at this point, screw it. For me, there is no place that's supposed to be accepting. I always have prejudices. You always have, you know, mental head games going on with us versus them crap. I don't fit in anybody else's territory. No one's. And dealing with holidays coming up, try this one. I've got Christmas trees still up. Mini Christmas trees I haven't taken down in a couple of years. But I got stuffed animals over here. You notice back with me, the stuffed animals over there have been collected for about a couple of years already. It's a thing. It's my thing. I'm eclectic. I do sailing. I do military. I'll do science fiction. I'll do a few other things in there. I'm getting a sports bear about the hometown team I support still. I've got clothing I could bring out to demonstrate this. Is it going to help me? I don't know. There's a game happening, Dodger Stadium, and it's going to be happening tonight, or actually, well, hours from now. And maybe I'll be watching it. It's the fifth game between the Dodgers versus the Padres. So we'll see what happens. I've got clothing I could wear. I've posted stuff on social media. Show them I'm a Dodger. Yeah, well, the bear I'm getting, it doesn't have my name on it. It's got the name of T. Lasorda on it. Tommy Lasorda. A legend in the baseball community. It's my Tommy Bear. So I'm going to put Tommy Bear right next to the schmuck up there, and it's going to be part of a collection. I got Christmas animals around me. dogs, bears, that kind of thing. I like collecting pins still. Used to be a pin fanatic a great deal a long time ago until I got rid of them for necessity reasons, unfortunately. Sucked. So I'd have the pictures that would remind me of them. And it's heartbreaking every time I keep seeing the damn stuff because being part of my own world was being an egomaniac. I wanted to show people what my insanity was. So I'd take a vest, throw it on pins, and just throw an attitude beneath the vest, puff the chest out, and just be, I'm this kind of character, deal with that one. Yeah. I'm not good at characterizations, apparently. At least not that way, anyway. Got an ego to feed, and I'm starving him to death. Starve the don't feed the ego. Starve him. Because one of these here days, that ego is going to be coming up and jumping my ass and saying, I'm more than you are. Yeah, well, I haven't fed you anything, so get out of here. I live in a chaotic environment. I live in an environment that is full of woe, of sadness, of memories, of pain. Despite the fact I can put stuff over here and watch it get and gather dust left and right. Holiday season's coming up. The winter holiday season, where you've got certain holidays out there that are supposed to celebrate, well, basically celebrate. But when you lose the heart of celebrating this thing, when you lose the meaning of the damn thing, it just doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, I had it with my family, I had it with my friends, I had that kind of attitude, and then after that, it's just doesn't matter anymore. I mean, I can collect the junk. The junk is nothing. The junk is junk. I can get as much teddy bears or pin collecting or Christmas trees or whatever. Well, without this going, what else am I going to say about it? What else am I going to say about it? I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. I don't conform. I don't comply very well. I try to anyway. I try to live. I try to survive. I try to exist, and it just isn't enough for people. Is it enough for me, though? Is it enough for me? I don't know. I could talk to a normie and talk about it, if there is such a thing as a normie these days. I don't know what a normie is anymore. I don't know what normal is anymore. Because I don't see it that much. Oh, the acceptable behavior, trying not to destroy or kill, maim, mutilate people. Okay, I can understand that one. No lying, cheating, thieving, and conning people. Okay, fine, I can deal with that one there. Pay the bills. Okay, fine, pay the bills. Got to pay the rent. Got to keep a roof over the head. Got to have food over here. Got to keep a dog that I have still alive and loved. I understand that. What I don't get is sometimes when I keep throwing out the examples of who and what I am, a guy's still suffering through a lot of crap going through life. You expect maybe once, just once, I'll get a communication saying, let's talk about it. Nope, doesn't work. So the only way I'm going to be able to do it for myself is just do it this way. And believe me, it took a hell of a long time for me to do the videos and audios. I mean, the audios, I'm constantly doing that, just getting my shit down on the audios. I'm wasting too much flash drives. But even these videos would chew up the room anyway. Especially for the amount of length I'm doing right now as it is. Almost 40 minutes worth. How about that one? But this is what's going on with me for right now. It's 12:18 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 11th of October, 2024. World Mental Health Day has been finished a long time ago. The official calendar. But for me, it's just another damn day.